Hopefully this time it goes better.
You been feeling all right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you look good.
Soft, tense music begins. Fade in, sterile white hospital lights. The camera slowly pans across a surgical room. Beeping monitors, gloved hands, and a faint smell of antiseptic fill the air. Narrator Vo. They told Tammy it would be a routine procedure. Just a minor surgery. Nothing to worry about. But no one could have prepared for what was about to happen. Camera focuses on Tammy lying on the hospital bed. Her eyes are wide, scanning the room. She's visibly nervous, fingers clutching the sheet. Tammy, whispering to herself, "It's just surgery. It's just surgery." The surgeon, Dr. Ellis, mid-50s, calm but focused, approaches. "Dr. Ellis, Tammy, we're ready. Just breathe and try to relax. You're in good hands." The anesthesiologist nods. The lights dim slightly. Tammy closes her eyes. Narrator Vo. But that one decision, to go through with this surgery, would unravel everything Tammy had worked so hard to hide. A sudden, sharp beep. The camera cuts to a close-up of Tammy's face. Her expression changes, fear, confusion, then shock. Tammy gasping. No, this can't be happening." Cut to black. Tense silence for 3 seconds. Text on screen. Tammy's biggest secret, finally exposed. Soft, melancholic piano music. Camera shows a suburban street at dawn. Tammy walks slowly, hands in her coat pockets, lost in thought. Narrator Vo. Tammy was an ordinary woman, or at least, that's what everyone thought. A loyal friend, a loving sister, a neighbor who smiled politely at everyone she passed. But behind closed doors, she carried a secret so deeply buried, she had spent years convincing herself it would never be discovered. Camera pans to a cozy suburban home. Tammy enters, hangs her coat, and sits by a window, staring at a family photo on the wall. She touches the frame gently, lost in thought. Narrator Vo. For over a decade, she lived in fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of losing everything she loved. And then, one simple decision, the surgery, would shatter that fragile balance. Cut to Tammy scrolling through her phone. Text messages pop up, reminders for surgery, messages from friends asking how she's feeling. Narrator Vo. But what exactly was Tammy hiding? And why did this surgery, something meant to heal, threaten to destroy her life instead? Camera slowly zooms in on Tammy's face. Her eyes glisten with unshed tears. Tammy, softly, almost to herself. "I can't let anyone find out, not yet." Flashback sequence. Warm sunlight filters through the windows of a high school classroom. Teenage Tammy, 17, sits quietly at her desk, sketching in a notebook. Her hair falls over her face, hiding her expression. Narrator Vo. To understand the weight of Tammy's secret, we have to go back 12 years ago, to a time when life was simpler, yet the world already felt too heavy for her. Cut to teenage Tammy walking home after school. She passes groups of laughing classmates. Her backpack is heavy, not just with books, but with the burden of something she can't share. Voiceover from teenage Tammy. Soft, shaky. "If anyone knew, if they ever found out, I'd be different. No one would see me the same way." Cut to her bedroom. Posters on the wall, sketches scattered everywhere. Teenage Tammy sits in front of a mirror, examining herself critically. Narrator Vo. Tammy's secret wasn't obvious. It wasn't something you could see at first glance. It wasn't even something she could easily explain. But it shaped every choice she made, every friendship, every job, every smile she forced herself to show the world. Cut to present-day Tammy preparing for surgery. She sits on the edge of the bed, hands shaking as she reads the pre-op instructions. Tammy Vo. "I've hidden this for so long. I've kept everyone at a distance. And now it's about to come out whether I'm ready or not." Camera shows Tammy's best friend, Jenna, arriving to see her before surgery. Jenna is warm, caring, unaware of the secret. Jenna. Hey, Tam, nervous? Tammy, forcing a smile. Just a little. It's nothing serious. Close-up of Tammy's hand trembling as she picks up Jenna's hand. Narrator Vo. She wanted to protect her friends, her family, even herself. But sometimes, the truth has a way of slipping out when you least expect it. Cut to a close-up of Tammy's eyes. A single tear falls. Tammy, whispering. I hope I can survive this. Music swells. Fade to surgical scene again, linking back to the cold open. Narrator Vo. And that's where our story truly begins, with a surgery that should have been routine, but instead became the turning point of her life. The surgical room is tense. Monitors beep steadily. Tammy lies on the operating table, eyes darting nervously. Dr. Ellis and his team are preparing instruments. The anesthesiologist gives Tammy a reassuring nod. Dr. Ellis. Okay, Tammy, I'm going to give you a little something to help you relax. We'll take good care of you. Camera focuses on Tammy's hand gripping the edge of the bed. Her breathing is shallow. Tammy Vio, whispering. Just breathe. Just breathe. It's routine. Nothing will go wrong. The anesthesiologist administers the sedative. Tammy's eyes slowly close. The room falls silent except for the rhythmic beeping of the monitor. Narrator Vo. No one knew that in the quiet moments between consciousness and sleep, Tammy's life was about to change forever. A secret she had guarded for over a decade was waiting, ready to escape. As the surgery progresses, Dr. Ellis notices something unexpected. He pauses, frowning at the monitor and the surgical field. Dr. Ellis, muttering to assistant. This isn't right. I didn't expect to see this. The assistant looks confused. Tammy's body reacts subtly. The camera shows a close-up of her face beneath the anesthesia, eyes twitching as if her body is responding to something internal. Narrator Vo. What the doctors discovered was not just a medical anomaly. It was Tammy's secret, the one thing she had hidden from everyone. Cut to a flashback. Teenage Tammy, hiding something in her room, a small locked box, a journal, photographs, mementos. The camera lingers on her hands, trembling as she locks it away. Narrator Vo. For years, she had buried it, locked it away, and told herself no one would ever find out. But some secrets have a way of surfacing, no matter how tightly you hold on. Back in the operating room, Dr. Ellis signals urgently to the nurse. Dr. Ellis. Call her family now. Cut to a hallway outside the surgical room. Jenna paces anxiously, phone in hand. Mark, Tammy's older brother, arrives worried. Mark. What's happening? Is she okay? Narrator Vo. They had come expecting a routine operation, a minor scare at most. But no one could have anticipated the revelation that was about to shake their world. Tammy is moved to recovery. She awakens slowly, groggy, as Dr. Ellis and the nurse speak quietly. Tammy, weakly. What happened? Did the surgery go okay? Dr. Ellis, hesitant. Tammy, it's complicated. We found something unexpected. Something personal. You're going to have to talk to your family about it soon. Camera closes in on Tammy's face. Confusion and fear dominate her expression. Tammy, whispering. Asterisk. No, not now, please, it's not the right time. Mark and Jenna are ushered in. Tammy sits up slowly. Her hands shake as she sees their concerned faces. Jenna. Tammy, what is it? The doctors looked worried, tell us. Tammy swallows hard. Her voice is barely audible. Tammy. I think my secret, it's out. The camera lingers on Mark's shocked face, Jenna's tear-filled eyes. Silence hangs heavily in the room. Narrator Vo. And in that moment, Tammy realized that hiding her secret had been a fragile illusion. Once revealed, there was no going back. Flashback to teenage Tammy, age 16. She's walking through her bedroom, holding a medical report she's just received. Her parents' voices can be faintly heard arguing downstairs. The camera shows the fear in her eyes. Narrator Vo. Tammy's secret began long before she met Jenna, long before she built her carefully curated life. It was rooted in fear, shame, and the desperate hope that no one would ever see the truth. The camera pans over old photographs, her hidden journals, and small boxes containing reminders of a life she tried to conceal. Teenage Tammy sits on her bed, hugging her knees, whispering to herself. Teenage Tammy, softly. If anyone finds out, I'll lose everything, everyone. Narrator Vo. And so she became an expert at pretending, at smiling, at convincing the world, and herself, that everything was fine. But secrets, no matter how carefully hidden, have a way of clawing their way to the surface. Back in the present, Tammy is in the recovery room. She slowly removes the oxygen mask. Jenna reaches for her hand. Jenna. Tammy, whatever it is, we can handle it together. Just tell us. Mark steps closer, protective, anxious. Mark. Tammy. I've always got your back. You don't have to face this alone. Tammy looks at them, her lips trembling. The camera captures the mixture of relief and fear in her eyes. Tammy, softly, voice breaking. It's everything I've tried to hide. It's all coming out, and I don't know if I can handle it. The scene fades slowly, leaving viewers with a lingering question. What is Tammy's secret, and how will it affect her life? Narrator Vo. No one saw this coming. The secret that had defined her life was no longer hers to control. And the people she loved most were about to see her in a way she had never allowed before. The hospital room is quiet now, sunlight filtering through the blinds. Tammy sits on the edge of the bed, hands clasped tightly, staring at the floor. Jenna and Mark are by her side, exchanging concerned glances. Jenna, softly. Tammy, you need to tell us. Whatever it is, we're not going anywhere. Tammy takes a shaky breath. She looks at both of them, eyes brimming with tears. Tammy. I've been hiding this for 12 years. I didn't want anyone to know, because I thought I'd lose everything if they did. The camera slowly pans to Mark and Jenna, leaning in, waiting. The tension is almost unbearable. Narrator Vo. Tammy's words hung in the air. For years, she had built walls around herself, convincing everyone, including herself, that her secret could remain buried. But now, the walls had crumbled, leaving her exposed, vulnerable, and terrified. Cut to a close-up of Tammy's trembling hands. She opens them slightly, revealing a small medical device, a port under her skin, connected to a series of tubes. The camera lingers. This is the key to her secret. Tammy, voice barely audible. I was born with a rare condition. My heart, it's weak. I needed a pacemaker, a surgery, but I never told anyone. Not my friends, not my family. I wanted to be normal. Mark's eyes widen. Jenna gasps softly, covering her mouth. Mark. Tammy, you never told me why. Tammy. I didn't want to be treated differently. I didn't want anyone to pity me. I wanted to live like everyone else. The camera captures the mix of shock, empathy, and disbelief on their faces. Tammy's fear is palpable. She hugs herself tightly, rocking slightly. Narrator Vo. The secret that had defined her life, her hidden illness, the surgery, the years of pretending, was finally out. And the consequences were immediate. Cut to Tammy's home a few days later. Family and friends gather. Whispers, concerned glances, and half-formed questions fill the room. Jenna. Tammy, why didn't you tell me sooner? I'm your best friend. We share everything. Tammy looks down, ashamed. Tammy. I know. I wanted to, but I was scared. I didn't want your life to change because of me. Mark, frustrated, but gentle. Tammy, we love you. That doesn't change, but keeping it hidden this long, it almost got worse. We could have helped you sooner. Camera pans to Tammy's face, tears streaming, as she processes guilt, fear, and relief all at once. Narrator Vo. Tammy's secret had been more than just a personal burden. It had become a barrier between her and the people she loved most. And now, that barrier was gone, leaving raw, unfiltered emotion in its place. Cut to Tammy alone in her bedroom at night. She opens her journal from her teenage years, the pages filled with sketches, notes, and fears she had never shared. Tammy, softly to herself, I thought I could hide this forever, but the truth always finds a way. Flashback intercut with present day. Teenage Tammy receives a warning from a doctor about her heart condition. The scene is tense, the doctor speaking gently but firmly. Dr. Young Tammy's memory. If this isn't treated properly, it could become life-threatening. You must follow the treatment plan exactly. Cut back to present-day Tammy, staring at the pacemaker implant under her skin in the mirror. She touches it lightly, realization dawning. Tammy view. It wasn't just about hiding the condition. It was about surviving. Every choice I made, every friendship I guarded, it was all to protect myself. Suddenly, her phone buzzes. It's a message from her workplace. Urgent, demanding updates on her health. Tammy's eyes widen. Panic sets in. Narrator Vo. Just when Tammy thought she could finally breathe, reality reminded her that secrets, even when exposed, have consequences that ripple far beyond the heart. The camera closes in on Tammy's hand hovering over the phone. She hesitates, then puts it down, trembling. Tammy, whispering, I'm not ready for this yet. Not everyone is ready for me. The next day, Tammy sits in a quiet cafe with Jenna. Sunlight streams in through the windows. Tammy clutches a coffee cup, staring out the window. Jenna. You know, Tammy, being honest doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Tammy looks at her friend, a mix of gratitude and shame in her eyes. Tammy, I've spent so long pretending. I thought I could control everything. But the truth, it's out now. And it's terrifying, but also freeing. Camera pans outside the window. Birds fly across the sky. Music swells slightly, hopeful but tinged with melancholy. Narrator Vo. For the first time in years, Tammy felt the weight of her secret lifting. The fear of exposure was replaced with the courage to face reality, to let others in, and to finally be seen for who she truly was. Mark calls her from across the cafe, smiling. Tammy exhales, allowing herself a small, genuine smile back. Mark. We've got your back, Tam. Always. Tammy nods, tears in her eyes, a mix of relief and lingering anxiety. Narrator Vo. Sometimes, the hardest step toward freedom is simply telling the truth. And sometimes, the people who truly love us are already waiting on the other side, ready to catch us when we fall. Cut to Tammy at work. The office is bustling, but Tammy feels isolated. Her coworkers whisper as she walks past. The camera focuses on her tense expression. Narrator Vo. Tammy had finally shared her secret with the people she loved most, but the outside world wasn't ready for her truth. The fear she had long carried wasn't gone. It had simply shifted into a new form. A supervisor, Ms. Harper, mid-40s, stern, approaches. Miss Harper. Tammy. I heard about your surgery. Are you going to be able to keep up with your projects? We have deadlines. Tammy swallows hard, her heart racing. The camera shows her trembling hands as she holds a folder. Tammy, voice shaking. I'll do my best, Miss Harper. I've always tried to keep up. Miss Harper, skeptical. Your best isn't enough if this keeps happening, Tammy. We need results. The tension is palpable. Tammy walks away, fighting back tears. She leans against the wall in the empty hallway, closing her eyes. Tammy view. I thought sharing my secret would bring relief, but the world doesn't pause for someone's truth. It demands strength, performance, a perfection. And I'm not sure I can give it all. Camera pans down to her shaking hands gripping the folder. Narrator Vo. For the first time, Tammy realized that truth could bring both freedom and scrutiny, and that facing the world would require courage she didn't know she had. Cut to Tammy at home that evening. The room is dimly lit. She sits on her bed, looking at old photographs of herself as a teenager, fragile, anxious, fearful. Her pacemaker is faintly visible under her shirt. Tammy, whispering to herself, I've spent so long running, hiding, pretending, but maybe I can finally be honest with everyone, including myself. She picks up her phone and scrolls to a group chat with close friends. Fingers hovering, she types a message. Tammy, texting aloud softly. I know my secret is out, and I'm scared, but I want to be honest with all of you from now on. Camera shows the replies flooding in, supportive, caring, full of love. Jenna's message appears first. We've got you. Always. Narrator Vo. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is simply allow themselves to be seen. Cut to Mark standing outside her window, holding a takeaway cup of tea. He knocks. Tammy opens the window slightly, surprised. Mark. I thought you might need this. No words, just support. Tammy smiles faintly, tears welling up. She nods. The camera lingers on her face, a mixture of relief, exhaustion, and tentative hope. Montage of Tammy gradually reclaiming her life, walking through the park with Jenna, laughing quietly at a cafe, attending doctor checkups without fear, spending time with her brother. Narrator Vo. Life doesn't immediately become perfect after a secret is revealed. But each small step toward honesty, each moment of vulnerability shared, is a victory. Cut to Tammy back at her workplace. She sits confidently at her desk, taking a deep breath before joining a meeting. Tammy Vo. I can't control how people react. I can't control everything. But I can control who I choose to be, and I choose to live honestly, even if it scares me. Camera pans across coworkers, some nodding, some glancing curiously, but no one judging. Tammy smiles faintly, the tension easing. Camera slowly pans over a quiet evening sky. Soft piano music plays. Tammy stands on her porch, gazing at the horizon. Narrator Vo. Tammy's story is not just